a horrific crime, a murder that so many of her fans still aren't over, her family. Unimaginable. And now Selena's murderer says she has a bounty on her head in prison. Yolanda Saldívar, who murdered Selena, says bounty on her head for killing music stars should lead to early prison release. Can you imagine that? I committed a heinous crime. And because I committed a heinous crime, nobody likes me. So let me out. Did she write this brief herself? The woman in prison for 30 years in the killing of the Queen of Tejano, Selena Quintanilla Perez, seeking parole, saying she has a bounty on her head. Law and Crime with the details. Yolanda Saldívar, age 64, has become eligible for parole this year after serving 30 years of her life sentence at the Patrick L. O'Daniel unit in Gatesville, Texas. The parole review process begins with a review of the offender's file, including letters of support and protest. Institutional parole officer reviews the file and interviews the offender before preparing a case summary for the board voting panel. Board usually votes on a case just before the parole eligibility date. That would be on March 30th in Salvador's case. If she is approved for parole, her release can be no earlier than March 30th. Now, she maintains the shooting was accidental and has expressed concerns for her safety in prison. An inmate told the New York Post, Saldívar's a target. Everyone knows who Yolanda Saldívar is, said Marisol Lopez, who served with her from 2017 to 2022. The Post reported, there's bounty on her head, like everyone wants a piece of her. The guards keep her away from everyone else because she's hated so much. If she were out in general population, someone would try to take her down. Let's remind you of the murder of Selena that took place in 1995. Saldívar was a Selena fan club president who later became friends with the singer and managed her boutiques. In 1995, Saldívar was fired after the singer's family accused her of embezzling money. Saldívar shot the 23-year-old singer on March 31st, 1995, at a motel room in Corpus Christi, Texas, where the singer was lured under the guise of returning financial documents. Saldívar was arrested after a standoff with police, convicted of first-degree murder October 26, 1995. She was sentenced to life with the possibility of parole after 30 years. In a 1995 interview with ABC's 2020, she said, "They made me out to be a monster, and I just want to say I did not kill Selena. It was an accident. My conscience is clear." So I would do all the requirements and I would fill out the paperwork and do the report. But with that comment on the record to ABC in 1995, quote, "It was an accident. I did not kill Selena." That's the door is shut and it has to stay shut. Out of touch, out of bounds, clueless. I have no doubt there's a bounty on her head and she could get hurt. But she's been in this long and you haven't heard about that. Don't know what to do about that. Prisons are bad. But I would be disgusted, as her fans and family are, Selena, that this woman who took away their precious one is still proclaiming her innocence and saying, "What about me? It's all about me." What say you?
She probably safer. I mean, she might as well serve out the rest of her life sentence. I mean, after 30 years, I'm sure you'd like to be out, but you kind of forfeited the rest of your life by doing what you did. You know, like if you come out of there, like you said, there's some bounty on you, but you also, what are you going to do for work? I mean, not only are you, a convict who killed one of the more beloved people in modern history in terms of entertainers, but also, you're 64 and you haven't worked for 30 years. So like, what are you really going to do? You might as well go ahead and do something to stay in there. But I'm trying real hard to find some droplets of sympathy in the depths
Yeah.
of my spirit, and I'm just it's dry. It's just I'm not finding anything in there. So boo hoo.
Yeah,
good for you. That good for you. You shouldn't have did what you
yeah.
did, you know. So
Shouldn't did what you did. And
yeah.
there's something in me, people like to always say, oh, well, for someone to act this way, they must be crazy. And I think she probably could have. There's a strong possibility she could have some kind of diagnosed personality disorder, but she's not insane. She's sane. And what always struck me about Yolanda is that she's a manipulator. She's calculating and manipulative, which is why she lured Selena to her death in that hotel room and left her fleeing before collapsing and dying. And why she, the survivor of that incident, not Selena, is left to rebuild the story of what happened there in fantastic terms, unbelievable terms. And even saying, I didn't kill her. Well, you did. It wasn't an accident, but
Right.
even if it was, you did kill her. And I think it's sick that this is what she's resorted to with loved ones still mourning. Very young. Selena was so young when this happened.
Yeah, 23 is you're a kid. I mean, now that I'm in my early 30s, I realize that I was a kid in my 20s. Like
Yeah,
you think you're not, but you are. Like
you are
that's so young. And she was like obsessed with her or some
obsessed.
yeah, like some crazy like that. But yeah, no, I mean, you only get one shot in life as you are at least, maybe in your next life you'll be a squirrel or a frog or an alien on another planet somewhere, but you only get one shot at being any individual. So you
Mhm.
ruined your life, you ruined a lot of other people's lives, and
If
you
she
know
did come back as a squirrel, I picture her hoarding all the nuts for herself, not sharing with anyone else because it's all
yeah.
about her.